first most important thing is to know what you want to research and what you're interested in. You don't have to be nitty-gritty into all the details per se, but you do want to have a general idea, enough so that when you're looking at different schools and different departments, you can kind of browse through the list of professors and find what they're researching and if it aligns with what you want to do. So that's the first step. The second step is then you want to initiate contact with, it doesn't even have to be one professor in that department, it can be multiple, but you can just start off with an email saying, hey, I've looked at some of the research papers that you have worked on and they're really aligned with my research interests. I don't know if you're looking for a master's student or a Ph.D. student, but I would really like to work with you if there's potential for that.
Don't limit yourself. There are so many opportunities out there that people just are disqualifying themselves for. You are qualified to be here, you're qualified to flourish. Don't limit yourself. Take every opportunity as it comes. If you think you may be interested in something, try it. Talk to someone who's done it, or just get more advice about where to go. Just get your feet wet in every little thing that you may like, because who knows, you may not like the thing you think you love.
Contact your professors beforehand, before you apply, to make sure that the work they're doing is something that you want to do, and so that they see your name, and then when you apply, they see your name on the application and want you to join, assuming that everything went well when you first contacted them.
You want to think about the quality of the program, for sure, but you also want to make sure that the culture of the program is going to be a good fit for you, that you can be comfortable there, and also the lifestyle of the area.
Yes, I definitely tried to talk to the professors that I'm interested in. I kind of mentioned that I've read their papers that they've published, the kind of the research they have, and also questions I had about the research they're performing, and also if I'm really interested into them, kind of what their trajectory is in terms of their research, what could be done in the future. I also talked to them about my research experience, kind of what experience and have, and how could that align with their research in the future.
I usually first get in touch with them by email, just saying that, introducing myself and saying why I'm interested in their particular lab and working with them, and what my previous experience is, if I have any that relates to what that lab does, or if not, they usually don't care if you don't have direct experience to what they do, because you're going to be a student and you're here to learn anyway. And then after that, basically it usually comes down to if they have room in the lab for you and if they have funding for you.
You definitely want to have eye contact with the person you're talking to. It shows confidence and it also shows maturity. And if you're thinking of what all of these physical things are showing to your potential advisor, what they're showing is that you're going to be able to conduct yourself well in an environment where you're going to have to be mainly independent, and that you're going to have the maturity and the confidence to succeed, to do well both for yourself in terms of your research, but also for your advisor and your research group as a whole.
I was so nervous because I wanted to be accepted by these brilliant scientists, as we all do, but I just kind of brought myself back to home, recollecting myself and realizing that they're people too. They literally went through the same things that I'm trying to go to. So instead of being intimidated by them, I would look at them as a resource or as a helping member on my team.
We were able to tour the visual computing lab during that summer, and she was sort of guiding the tour there, and that's when I met her, and she was showing us some of the work she was doing, and I was just asking questions about the details of what exactly they were doing or how it worked, and she remembered me from the questions I asked.
When I met my PI, I was actually at the research symposium last year presenting my undergrad research. It wasn't as great as what I'm doing now, but during my presentation I chatted with him briefly, and instead of talking about research, he wanted to know more about what I was wanting to do with myself in the next couple of years, how I liked it here at Clemson, and was very warm in welcoming me in the aspects that he was concerned not only with my educational aspects of advancement, but also my personal. So that was a big key to my success.
What to look for often, I think, is someone you can converse with. And of course, similar research interests, but not necessarily identical. And someone that can also act as a mentor.
I had contacted this advisor and we had talked, we had Skyped, I came for the in-person interview, and he really advocated for me so that I could get into the program. And he really kind of took a leap of faith that, you know, my academic record was not as great, but I had these research experiences as an undergrad that sort of made up for that. I had talked to him about what I was interested in. I had some questions specific to sort of what would work in his lab. And I think that really came through. So showing who you want to work with, what you want to do, and why you want to do it with them was really what sort of helped me in the end.
The campus visit definitely helped with learning their personalities and making sure I would vibe well with them.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're your PI you work closely with. Some PIs you work more closely with than others. It depends on their advising style. But your lab mates, they will definitely, you're going to see them every single day, and they'll kind of become like your lab siblings almost. And they're the ones who are going to teach you everything in lab. Well, usually they're the ones who teach you everything, so you want to have a good relationship with them.
There is time for things outside of just work, but you have to treat it like a job. If you come in and you like, oh, okay, like I'll do my homework right before it's due, things like that, it's just going to add, that makes a stress snowball that wrecks things. But if you treat it like a job, like I'm gonna go in at 8:30 and I don't have class till 10, but I'm gonna go in at 8:30, I'm gonna work on things, I'm gonna do whatever. If you treat it like that, then you can have, you're like, oh, you can go get dinner with friends, or you can have a Saturday where you don't have anything that you have to do. It's important to balance it because you'll burn out. I've seen a lot of people burn out, and that's not, the end goal isn't that you get to the finish line as fast as possible. The end goal is that you as a whole person get to the end with work that you're proud of.
Always, always, always make your health a priority. And I mean physical and mental health. I know a lot of students in grad school get overwhelmed, like the first semester and the first year, very stressful transition. So make sure that you have a good group of friends, you have family you can talk to, make use of the resources on campus, and like just know you're not alone and that graduate school is tough. And it depends on where you went for your undergrad, but it can be even harder. So just make sure that your health is aligned with your goals, because you need it to be really good as well in order to be successful.
Definitely time management, and make sure you are self-determined, because in grad school, your advisor might tell you to you know, do your work, but ultimately it's up to you, and you don't want to end up graduating late because of procrastination.
I think the most important thing for me is find an entire community that makes you happy. It's not just the research. You cannot survive 2, 4, 6 years of graduate school because you love the research. You have to find a community that you feel at home in. You know, a lot of times for graduate school, you're moving. I mean, I moved 2 states away from all of my family. I have no one up here that, you know, to go home for Christmas, sometimes that doesn't happen. But I feel like I have a great support system, a great network. The college really supports me and supports my lab, and I feel at home here. And that is way more important than you being potentially interested or even meshing with your advisor. If you don't feel if you don't feel comfortable where you're interviewing, if you don't feel welcome, don't go. Because the research is just one component of your life as a graduate student.
Graduate schools, they want you to want to come to the graduate school. And so they have, reaching out to coordinators or, if you're thinking about, if you're gonna be in the area, if you could possibly visit, anything like that. It's amazing what people, I feel like there's like a wall, like an invisible wall that students kind of feel in regards to graduate school, to professors, to all these opportunities, and they're not really there. Like if you make the effort to reach out, there are people that they want to help you, and they will point you to the resources. I know I talked about the application fees, but there were some schools that waive application fees sometimes, depending on, and other times, like I was able to just meet professors. I was in the area, and so they allowed me to come into the lab and sit down with them, unofficial visits kind of thing. And so I think definitely, just reaching out and making use of all the resources that are there that you might not be aware of, because it doesn't have to be like a scary process.